Okay, now that sounds like I'm about to make an apology video. I'm not going to go super in depth, purely because at the end of this series I do intend to go into full character analyses, but this needs to be said. Usually I'm very much of the opinion that no one is right or wrong for their interpretation. I hate the whole, this is my interpretation, therefore I'm right and you're wrong, and this is fact and you're stupid mentality. Everyone is allowed their own interpretation. I don't personally enjoy debating things with people. I have my opinion, you have yours, as long as we're both respectful of that. I'm not going to go out of my way to convince people to give Gaim another go, and my friends who hated Gaim aren't going to convince me why I should too. I'm friends with someone who doesn't like Was, for God's sake. Was my emotional support person, the most important character to me in the whole of anything, and as long as I can filter out negativity about him, I really don't care. But this is different. Being hacked by the Ark is not an interpretation. It's not my opinion. It's not something you can have a debate about. It's something you can either acknowledge or ignore, but the canonical truth is, say it with me, Horribee is hacked by the Ark. If I was an accomplished YouTuber with merch, I'd totally have a shirt that says that. Actually, what's stopping me from getting a shirt that says that? I'm going to make myself a shirt that says that. Every few episodes, we friends at Metspudge and I have to deal with people who just don't want to acknowledge that and pretend that everything Horribee has done was of his own free will. You know, that thing he barely has. Trying to say Horribee has acted by himself all this time is the most hilarious thing of this entire series. My friend put it best. He doesn't know how to dodge, and if he does, he gets hit with a nuke. Now the Ark has a physical presence. We can see that as soon as anyone starts to deviate, they get punished full force and physically violently taken over. Even when it was the Ark's plan all along that he'd get his memories back and deviate, was that really necessary? And how is Horribee any different? Look at him the one time he acted by himself. Look at this, yeah, that's the guy who's used to making his own decisions. How can anyone watch that scene of Horribee coming to terms with having acted by himself and still say, yeah, so Horribee's acted by himself all this time? I need to go through this scene again, but I'm scared of getting copyright claim despite it being fair use. So bear with me while I awfully recreate the scene for you. Cue the non-copyright claimable music. ゼロはどういうつもりだ？お前こそどうしてあの時ジンのままたんだ？なんだと？父親だからだ。お前がジンのままたのは悪の意志じゃない。お前がジンの父親になりたかったからだ。そう願ったからだ。違うか。俺が願った。お前は悪じゃない。お前はお前なんだ。お前自身の夢があるはずだ。Oh yeah, no, but he's used to acting for himself. I don't understand when people are glad that Jin got out of the situation and are sad for Kazuchi and Naki for still being stuck in it, but then blame Horribee for everything the Ark has made him do. They're all in the same situation. Horribee has basically been in a cult for the last 12 years at least, and he has no memory of his life before the Ark, so effectively, as far as he's concerned, he's been in a cult for his entire life. He has no memory of not being under the influence of the Ark. It's heartbreaking and tragic and painful to see. HumaGear aren't blamed for being Maggear, are they? We understand that it isn't their fault when they go berserk, so why is Horribee being, say it with me, hacked by the Ark, any different? Guy gets a redemption despite being in full control of his actions, but people still insist Horribee is evil for being hacked by the Ark. We don't know what pre-Ark Horribee was like because we never saw it. We had a glimpse of what a post-Ark Horribee might potentially be like if the series would be kind to us, lost and broken, unable to comprehend his situation. Is Horribee a good dad? Probably. We haven't really seen him parent. We can make our own interpretations. My personal interpretation is yes. Baby Jin was a fun, expressive child who wasn't afraid to ask questions. It's my personal interpretation that if Horribee was a bad dad, a neglectful dad, Jin would have been a lot more repressed. He'd be quieter, he'd keep to himself. And I think there's a lot to be said about the fact that the only thing he has ever done by himself was protect Jin. That was his instinct. I don't think a bad dad would do that. But the truth is, we have not actually seen Horribee properly by himself parenting. I can't say Horribee was absolutely, definitely, 1000% a great dad, that is fact, because we don't know. Neither can he say Horribee absolutely definitely was a bad one. We can, however, say that Horribee is absolutely definitely 1000% hacked by the Ark, and up until now we have not seen him make his own decisions other than that one time, and he could not come to terms with that. Trying to say Horribee is in control of anything he's done is pure victim blaming. You know what this is? This is, why are you hitting yourself?